Well, depending on how the makeup is done, clowns can either be hilarious or terrifying. In this Halloween season, it's the latter making headlines nationwide. We'll see why there are so many creepy clown sightings lately next. The countdown is on to Halloween, but already a popular costume is getting a lot of negative attention. People dressed as creepy clowns are appearing in communities everywhere across the nation, sometimes threatening people or trying to lure kids into the woods. And that is not sitting well with Nancy Wolf, also known as Half Pint. She is sad to see the trend and the hate that it's causing toward legitimate clowns like her. Half Pint has been a clown for 30 years, and for the first time, she says she is worried people won't accept her. According to the Rochester Police Department, he was working alone near a muddy creek, slipped, and became trapped. It took a few hours before a neighbor finally stumbled upon him and then could not pull him out of the sticky mud. KIMT News 3's Dee Dee Steepman spoke with those on the scene and joins us live with their story. Well, picture this if you can. It's just a tank with 10 inches of water and a lot of salt. The victim is a 50-year-old man who Rochester police say works as an IT specialist assigned to the sheriff's department. Despite being stabbed several times and losing a lot of blood, he was able to radio in for help after the attack. I would vote no on the rain if we were holding an election on that. And let's see how our meteorologist Brandon Libby would fare in an election. I think pretty well over the last few days when we had these dry and nice conditions. Well, the old saying in politics is if you're explaining, you're losing. Exactly. Trump spent about the last half of that debate explaining, and he's been explaining ever since. Now, you might not want to be out on the roads much in any vehicle because they're about to get wet, I think. Well, so many people have stepped forward to help the family of Jacob Wetterling after the case of the boy's disappearance was finally solved. There's just no way they could accept the help from everyone. So Jacob's mother, Patty, said to help them, all you need to do is create joy. Do things like help your neighbor, hug your children. This weekend, people took her up on that offer by starting Create Joy Day, and they want this to spread nationwide. In Paynesville, near the Wetterling home, carnival games filled Gazebo Park, and donations were collected for the community center. A tree was also dedicated to Jacob, and bubbles were passed out in his memory. Well, you can drive around downtown in many parts of our area and see all kinds of historic buildings. One local business is being awarded for helping keep that kind of history alive. Worth Brewing Company received the Preservation at its Best award from Preservation, Iowa. The business moved across the street in Northwood to expand and took over the old IOF Erickson building that was empty. And when designing the new facility, owners say they made sure to keep the building's features as original as possible. Folks passing by St. John's Episcopal Church in Mason City are taking a few extra seconds out of their drive to glance at a new sign. It's electric, it's been there less than a year, and the message changes regularly. The parish administrator says they want to have messages that get people thinking or maybe convince them to come in. Things like free wine. Well, right now it's displaying 10 reasons to be an Episcopalian from Robin Williams.